Hi everybody, welcome back to Main Mission Hope, and in this video I want to talk about another experience I had with Pam Moon's most amazing Shroud of Turin replica exhibition that at the moment is on display at St Johns Portsmouth Cathedral until the 14th of June, I think, and the events that I'm talking about in this video took place on the 8th of June, on Sunday. So an opportunity to go back. You may well have seen my previous video on the Shroud of Turin exhibition. It's this amazing exhibition that includes a life-size replica of the Shroud of Turin printed or recreated on cloth. So on a recreation. So it's not just a big poster. It's designed to look as close as you could probably get to the real Shroud of Turin, and it's made by, I think, one of the original guys that did the photographs in the 80s, when the scientists were allowed to study the Shroud of Turin. And it's a whole exhibition. You know, the centerpiece is the Shroud of Turin. Then we've got these big negative posters where the detail really comes out, and then there's all these panels that go around the outside that explain the history of the Shroud, you know, tracing it back to its origins and how can we say, well, how do we know this is probably the Shroud? And then also explaining what the physical marks are on the Shroud, from the blood to the damage to the crucified man's body, and to the mark, the shadow, if you like, of the man itself. Now, what's so incredibly amazing about the Shroud, even copies like this, is the fact that it is the smoking gun proof of not only the crucifixion but also the resurrection, and that's incredibly important. And many scientists who have looked at the Shroud have either said, look, this is either the most amazing forgery that mankind has ever created, or it's the real deal. And just think about that for a minute. It's either an amazing forgery made by people 1,000 years ago with technology that we can't recreate today, you know, these guys in the Middle Ages, or this is the proof of the crucifixion, obviously because it's a crucified man, but the resurrection as well. So the proof of the crucifixion is the fact that it's a crucified man who's got this damage to his body that matches all of the descriptions from the Gospels, and also matches the historical descriptions of how the Romans crucified people. And proof of the resurrection is the fact that you have this image, this shadow, if you like, on the cloth of the crucified man beyond the blood stains. So it's as if at some point an amazingly bright light, like the brightness maybe of a nuclear bomb going off, but without the heat and without the damage, for a fraction of a millisecond went off, and it burned is almost the wrong word. It created this shadow on the Shroud, which gives us the image of the person. And you could say, you know, how could they have done this 1,000 years ago? Well, you know, they couldn't. So to believers like myself, you know, this is proof of the resurrection. Now, what I got a chance to do, because I'd already been to see the Shroud, I went back, and it was a quiet Sunday because Mass was on, so that there wasn't anybody else in the room apart from there was one guy sitting down. I think he was looking after it. So I got an opportunity to sit at the front of the rows of chairs with the Shroud just in front of me, and then I read the resurrection stories from the Bible. So Matthew 28, Mark 16, Luke 24. And John 20. And I would suggest, if you get an opportunity to see Pam's amazing exhibition, or another one, anything else with the Shroud as well, put this on your list of things to do while you're visiting the Shroud, if at all possible. Sit down, have the Shroud in front of you, and then just read through I mean, you could do the crucifixion as well, but the resurrection stories, and they will spring to life. And you'll have, maybe, like me, a really emotional moment. I won't lie, the tears came, because the importance of what happened, and the consequences of what that means. The fact there was the resurrection, that we can have life eternal, the fact that Jesus did come back, that means that everything else is true too. You know, and that's incredibly important. So a big thanks has to go out to Pam for this amazing exhibition. And yeah, I'll put links to those passages in the description below the video, although you know how to find them already, don't you? And if you get the opportunity to see the Shroud exhibition, or a Shroud exhibition, whether you're Catholic, Christian, whether you're Protestant Christian, maybe you're Orthodox Christians, maybe you're not Christian, maybe you're from another faith, maybe you're an atheist, maybe you're agnostic, go and see the Shroud. Read all the panels, but I would say if you can have an app on your phone that has the Bible on it, and then go to John 20, go to Luke 24, go to Mark 16, go to Matthew 28, and just read about the resurrection as you're gazing upon the Shroud. And that's a very special experience indeed. Anyway, that's enough from me. Hopefully you found this useful. If you have, hit like, if you want to see more of the same, press subscribe, and I'll see you again soon.